second cause is the second cause of despondence, of a state of hopelessness, is the second cause. May not be in this order. Of despondence is the fact that life in general is insecure. Life in general is insecure. That each one of us has set an aim in life. Each one of us has set an aim in life. And every morning we wake up and inch our way towards fulfilling that aim. But the path that we plan to walk on to fulfill that aim in our life is lined with people who may use corrupt means. Alright. So the path that we need to tread on to fulfill our aim is lined with people who may take away from us that which we want to accomplish by sheer hard work. Corrupt means or unfair means. Poet wants to say one cause of the fact that life in general is insecure is that the path that we plan to tread to fulfill our aim is lined with people who may use corrupt or unfair means to accomplish what we want to achieve through sheer hard work. Second, as I've already told you, there is no surety in life. Therefore, life in general is insecure. So, poet uses these phrases: over darkened ways. This is one phrase. Over darkened ways. Alright, and he uses one phrase which means the same as corrupt means or unfair means. So, this is the second, may not necessarily be in this order. The second cause of an abundance of spite on earth. The third cause is a cruel absence of noble natures. Poet says this: a cruel absence of noble natures also brings in a lot of spite. The noble natures, for example, honesty, truthfulness, sympathy, empathy, etc. There is an inhuman dearth. The poet uses the phrase inhuman dearth, inhuman dearth of noble natures, inhuman dearth of noble natures. So this is another cause of the fact that there is an abundance of spite. So having listed these different causes of abundance which result in a lot of hatred, animosity, a state of hopelessness, he says that the consequence of all this is that we lead an unhappy existence. That we lead an unhappy existence. All right. And as if a cover, the poet uses the word pall, a cover of gloom has enveloped all of us. At this juncture, the meaning of in spite of comes into play. In spite of all this, even a passing glimpse of a thing of beauty removes the cover of gloom. This is the significance of a beautiful thing. This is the importance of a beautiful thing. A brief recap. First, he moves on to enlist all such attributes which a thing must possess in order to be called beautiful. Alright, that it must be an everlasting source of joy, that it must not lose its value, that it must not lose its identity. Essence also means identity. Essence, you can also say, it must not lose its identity. For example, shade of a tree or shade under a tree and its ability to provide rest to a tired traveler are inseparable. So its property of providing shelter to a tired traveler is the identity of the shade, is the essence of shade, just as the essence of childhood is innocence. Next, it must not lose its value over a period of time. It must be that we realize its importance over a period of time. And thereafter, he moves on to say that it must also help in human well-being. And he celebrates beauty by telling us that every morning we wake up, we tie ourselves to Mother Nature with the help of a flowery band. Next, he goes on, we move on to the very important lines, and he begin the word spite, and towards the middle of the fourth or fifth line, he uses the word in spite of. And he lists the different causes of despondence, which is feeling of ill will, animosity and hatred, and goes on to say that despite And goes on to say, despite so much of gloom, so much of despair, even a passing glimpse of a beautiful thing removes all the sadness from our lives.